In this video, I'm going to cover the top 20 usage in the recent tournament I held for a $25 Robux card. Well done, by the way, Volt Ninja, who deservedly won it. Congratulations to you. I'm going to take you through all the stats. It's not the most glorious thing in the world, but if you're getting into PvP right now, you need to know what is competitive. You need to understand what is being used and what's not being used. Now, this tournament was Ubers, which is free game basically. The only thing it did put a ban on was Swirl because of its ability, but also put a ban on talent trade being used on Setamars, so it passes lazy on, which is really not exciting. And the other thing was removing talent trade used on the Ferglyph line, so where they use Idio and then they pass it on. So those were the only things really banned. Everything else was free game. I did find, and I will tell you this right now, people were more scared of the Ubers and they didn't really utilize them. And for me, I don't think they are as Uber as they used to be because they were really suspect tested before the likes of boots, all the soul burst Loomians being added, and the other items coming in as well. So for me, I'm really skeptical, and I think if people used them a bit more, this usage would probably be a lot different. So let me take you through this because it is really important, and this is what people are probably going to use when it comes to rank play as well. So all tied for tied number 20 here on usage: Fantasy, Umbrad, Tyrex, Tyradescent, Protogon, Odiaga, Namari, Cannabo, Icicle, Hunder, Hollybunch, Garlash, Dakota, Cosyu, Borak, and Phoenix. The one thing that really surprised me out of this list was actually Cosmu. I thought that would have been a lot higher. And guys, see, when you go through this list, you'll be in actual shock of what's actually missing. Now, on my server, guys, I do have a good blend. I have some really big PvP sweats, and I have the few noobs here and there that may skew this up, but generally, as the tournament went on, the usage should get a bit more solider, so you'll see this as it goes higher and higher. Then in number 19, guys, we've got Oxydrake, Soulburst Icicle, Venilin, Arceus, Morail, Novadeus, and Ursul. Arceus is already getting nerfed, but the reason behind that was because they're expecting Scarf to come out, and Arceus and Glacier are expected to dominate because of their ability. Surprisingly, the usage on Arceus is not great. Let's be honest. Nobody has actually surprised me. I thought it would have been a lot higher as well. People are sleeping on that. If you haven't used it, definitely get all over that, guys. In 18, guys, we've got Billaforge, Eleguana, Gargolem Spade, Lashant, Soulburst Dakota, Soulburst Gastroke, Searnite, Tundralin, and Cephalin. I expected Gastroke to be a lot higher, but with Cephalops coming into play and Metronet, I think people just opted not to go near that, to be honest with you. Cephalin obviously is really good. It gives you that chance to have a bit of removal. Tundralin, again, good physical wall and things like that. Eleguana, good range wall, and its ability can kind of really nullify a few different things as well. So that's where we are at number 18. Moving on, guys, number 17, we've got Gargolem A, slept on in my eyes. Boonery, Deludrix, which I'm surprised is way down in 17th, Wobblisk, and Wendelin. And Wendelin, obviously, with Fade Away now, is really good with boots on. And at 16, guys, I'm going to start firing for these. So we've got Bar Blast, Halvantic, Ikazuna, Imperior, Metatoad, Mutagon, and Ferglyph. Surprisingly, we just let Imperior just run resentful. Didn't really get the usage at all on it. Mutagon was obviously the Uber that was locked away with 1% usage. Not really touched. I think it's because people forget how to use it, if I'm going to be honest with you. And at 15, we got Colossotrops, Phagenut, Soulburst Stratosaur, and Stratosaur itself. So the strats coming in there, pretty decent. Then we had Charonix, Metronet, and Nevermare. So we now have our second Uber, which is Metronet in itself. Bear in mind, I did break up Soulburst Metronet and Metronet as well. But if you look at it, coming in the 14th, I'm really surprised, if I'm going to be honest with you. And at 13, we got Cephalops, which is the final Uber that was kind of really locked away with Dragodine, which is obviously people do deem as an Uber before it got nerfed. And then you got Harvesect there as well. So looking at this, guy's going to fly through these ones. Akalos in a 12. I was really actually quite surprised to see its usage going a lot up, higher up. I think it's because it got access to the likes of Rogue Assault and things like that. Soulburst Metronet, and then at number 11. So guys, there's kind of your 11 to 20 here. These were all kind of borderline here, to be honest with you. Just to kind of give you an idea, you know, things that didn't even get near this were the likes of Soulburst, Krakaloa, Florant, you know, Krabtana, Joltooth. these didn't even get near it. Wintrix, Thaumin, Ravenine, Banfino, Beneki, Diborg, Himber. These didn't even make the top 20, which is absolutely crazy. But, you know, that just shows you exactly what the extent what people are using them at the moment. So I'm going to take off the top 20, and then what we're going to do is we're going to fly through the top 10 here, guys. By the way, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel. I do cover a lot of Loomian Legacy. I've covered over 600 videos in my lifespan of the channel. And not only that, hit the like button. It does help me out. So as we said, we're going to get into the top 10 here. Okay, so let's get straight in. Marith, Dukamoru, and Cleone. We all know why they are there. Dukamori, with its ability, once it gets hit, drops spines, barbs, poison barbs, and you've also got the baffle ability there on there as well. Marith in itself with Shatter, Super, and Cleone's typing, and its general bulk just gives it that wee bit that was hard to avoid on teams, let's be honest with you. They are pretty good. Now, when we go on to the number 9, we've got Zulong and Chianta. Both good aggressive Loomians. You know, both could press, both very good leads. I'm not surprised to see them in at number 9. Number 8, we got Soul Burst Eruptodon. You partner it up with a Baffle, and you could basically just destroy teams all day long. No surprises there. That was making top 10. In at number 7, we've got Luminami, which again, with its ability to pivot, its ability to, you know, run either melee defensively or ranged, or even potentially offensively on its move pool, it's absolutely amazing. Glaciaria comes in at number 7, again, probably pushed because of its typing and its ability. Again, its ability is about to get nerfed. And Falkery in at number 7, again, slap some boots on it, and its ability and typing, it's such a threat, let's be honest. Number 6 was Obsidragon, and Mamask. Mamask has become quick favourite. That access to the pivot, being a roamer, and also the ability to mix up its typing. I didn't really see many of the ones running with the impersonate ability, but you know, at the same time, Mamask was doing pretty good here, let's be honest. Jalusa, people just banked on this just to kind of deal with Eruptodon being everywhere. They weren't wrong. You know, this here again with its general bulk and its typing, very useful. It's passive and boring as hell, but at the same time, you could sit and spam Peace of Minds and recover all day long, and it gives you an ability to win games either way. And at number 4 was Tatab and Vesperatu. Vesp was really, I think its usage was really a reflection that the Ubers were out. It was more people safeguarding, but I think throughout this tournament, people realized how good Vesperatu still is to its core. Number 3, Eclipse. Apparently it dropped down to UU, but you open up an Ubers tournament where you release Metronet, Cephalops, it's everywhere. Again, it gives you that ability to swap in on them. Potentially get your total eclipse on and get moving as well. Its ability is huge, let's be honest. And at number 2, we have Pyrolin. Probably just showing it is the most used ranged defensive Loomian out there. Ability to move, you know, ability to just use burn up. Do you know what I mean? The ability to sit and rejuvenate. Its stats as well. So, you know, having that ability to remove those traps as well, you know, it's brilliant and set up as well. So there's no surprise there. And I don't think anyone will actually be surprised at number 1 here. Gargolem D. Defensive Gargolem. And it's now also getting nerfed because I think Emphasize is getting moved, which is Pain Split. So there you go, guys. There's your top 10. If you look at it, going from kind of top to bottom, defensive. I would say Eclipse is kind of, you can run both ways. Vesperado, you know, quite offensive. Tatab's offensive. Jalusa's defensive, or offensive side Tatab. Jalusa defensive, Obsidian defensive. The mask is offensive, defensive, offensive, 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 defensive, defensive, defensive. So there's a kind of a really big split there, but if you look at the percentage of usage, mainly probably with I would say those top 4. Do you know what I mean? There's a huge gap on them for an Outburst tournament. So guys, hope that gives you a bit of an insight on what's being used, what's not being used, and that's usage. Well done to everybody, by the way, who was in the tournament, and I can't thank you enough for sending the usage through there as well. But I think with PvP being a focus right now, it's really important to see large number of tournaments having tracked usage and actually being shared with you guys. Appreciate it's not the most exciting video in the world, but if this is for you, I hope it's helpful. Hopefully it gives you an insight. And yeah, I had fun tracking it, guys. Love a spreadsheet either. I'll see you next time, and bye bye.